Hello guys, Subhash here from SR Tech Space, and where to start? First of all, it's not a good week for me. As you know, I'm a Manchester United fan. I'm still going strong after what happened to Liverpool, the Champions League. But game is a game, you win some, you lose some. Actually, Apple has unveiled plenty of things on their latest Worldwide Developer Conference, which happened yesterday. Apple went on and unveiled their latest macOS, watchOS, tvOS, and the most anticipated iOS. We got plenty to recap, and I just came back from work. As you can see, it's getting dark here and sunlight is my main source for my videos, and I will try to make this video as quick as possible. So without further ado, let's jump in straight to the video. Okay, let's start with watchOS. Apple has unveiled watchOS 6 on their Worldwide Developer Conference, and as usual, new watch faces are coming and new watch band will be available soon on the Apple stores. And mainly the first gen Apple Watch, which was released back on June 2015, I guess, the Series 0, will no longer be supported by Apple. watchOS 6 will be supported from Apple Watch Series 1, 2, 3, and the latest 4. Apple has once again revamped their watchOS experience. They are trying to make it like a standalone device and less reliable on their parent iPhone. I firmly accept this decision made by Apple. Other than cellular connectivity, Apple Watch do need to be more functional without the iPhone. For watchOS 6, Apple has added a standalone app store just for watch itself. Noise app is added on watchOS 6, and this will let you know whether the noise surround you either loud or it can cause you permanent hearing damage, which is a welcome change by Apple. And especially for ladies, Cycle app has been added onto watchOS 6 just to help keep track of the menstrual cycle every month. What else? watchOS 6 also added voice memos just like iPhone, so you can record and keep your voice recordings on your watch. And finally, Apple has added a dedicated calculator app on the wrist. I still don't understand why it took so long for Apple to release a calculator on a smartwatch. Okay, let's jump into the next one. And Apple has also unveiled the latest macOS, which is, I believe, 10.15, which is called Catalina. Catalina. I believe I'm pronouncing it correctly. And this macOS will be the first macOS to stop supporting 32-bit application and making macOS Mojave to be the last one to do so. And the sad news is, after 18 years, Apple has put an end to iTunes, and Apple has announced on stage officially that they will be discontinuing iTunes from macOS. Well, we still do not know whether Windows are affected or not, but I'm pretty sure this will affect the Windows users very soon. And iTunes will be separated into 3 apps, which is music, TV, and podcasts. And I believe there will be a standalone app for restoring and backup and syncing. If anyone knew any information regarding iTunes window, do let me know in the comments below, as I'm still unsure whether Windows are affected 100% or not. Find My Friends and Find My iPhones are being merged into one app called Find My. Sidecar was also introduced on the latest macOS, and Sidecar basically lets users use their iPad as a secondary screen for their Mac devices. It can work wired and wirelessly for 10 meters. It can also mirror iPad screen on your Mac devices. Apple Pencil supported on this Sidecar, and creators can take plenty of advantage using this app. For example, you can sketch drawings on your iPad, and that drawing will be shown on your Mac devices. And creators can take plenty of advantage with this Mac and iPad integration. This is a cool way for people who want a bigger and larger display, but lightweight and portable. To be honest, this Sidecar app is one of the best thing Apple has done for macOS recently. I'll put a detailed link about Sidecar in the description below, so please check it out, guys. Speaking of iPad, Apple has completely revamped iPad experience on iOS. iPad has broken away from iOS, and it will be now called iPad OS. Well, technically it is still iOS, but it is now catering more towards iPad experience. Well, I don't know much about you guys, but personally I feel the best thing iPad can do is to be broken away from iOS and have a standalone OS, which is what Apple is doing currently. Well, iPad OS will bring true multitasking experience on the latest iPads. More multitasking option and changes to dock, and it even has a standalone keyboard with a new redesigned file manager and support for USB devices and SD card slot for file transfer and file management. Well, Safari will be also getting a redesign. It will be like a desktop version but optimized for iPad. Apple Pencil latency will be shrinking from 20 millisecond to 8 millisecond with only software update. Previously with iOS, iPad looked like a blown up version of iPhone, and it's about time Apple has changed it. Personally, I feel iOS has been holding iPad's true power, and from iOS 13 we will see iPad's true raw power. And side note, this has cemented iPad's position even more further than the next competing tablet. It's becoming too dark and I have no other choice but to turn on my room light. So I apologize if the video quality is lower than what I've done previously. Well, next on the list is TVOS. I don't want to talk more about TVOS as I've never used before. As what everything Apple Pro said, Apple's target is to streamline all OS into one user experience. And tvOS user experience will be similar like iOS user experience. While third-party controllers like Xbox and PS4 controllers will be getting support on the latest tvOS. Well, I will leave a link on the description below about tvOS keynote, so do check it out, guys. Okay, iOS 13 has been announced, and I saved the best for last because I believe this is the best iOS update that Apple has ever given us since the birth of iOS in 2007. So just imagine the state of Apple from 2007 until today. Apple has brought in a lot of changes on iOS, and most notably the dark mode has arrived on iOS 13. Finally, after bugging Apple for quite a long time, I believe since iOS 7, Apple has officially announced dark mode will be coming on iOS 13. Well, to be honest, Apple took quite a number of years to refine dark mode, and safe to say they have engineered it perfectly. It's so beautiful and it's easy to access. Just swipe down from the control center, 3D touch on the brightness, and you can see an option to enable light mode or enable dark mode. It is proven that dark mode saves plenty of battery life on OLED panels such as iPhone 10, XS and XS Max. While older models do have dark mode, but I believe it will be some sort of grayish kind of dark, since the old iPhones do not have an OLED panel, so the black will not be pitch black, I assume. And the bad news is iPhone 6 will no longer be supported for iOS 13, and that marks the end of iPhone 6, one of the best selling iPhone for Apple. In fact, it was my first iPhone that I've used, and once again Apple has nailed privacy pretty well. So after this, whenever you have an option to sign in from Facebook or sign in from Google, you will have another option called sign in from Apple. And Apple went and boldly claimed that all data will be privately secured and kept confidential. This for me is a huge plus point, considering Google and Facebook had some tracking issues in the past. Okay, so the next major update is on Photos app, and Photos app will have a redesign and it will change the way you use the Photos app. And Apple has also added the ability of increasing the portrait lighting, and various different kind of editing will be added on the Photos app itself. And finally, well, is it me or is it I'm saying a lot of finally today? I'm so excited to share with you guys. And finally we can rotate videos on Photos app itself. Pretty cool if you ask me. I had to download a third-party rotation video app, and it is full of advertisement and bloatware. It is a plus point Apple has integrated into the Photos app itself. I have a good news if you guys are owning an AirPod. Siri can now read your messages while you're wearing AirPods. And on iOS 13, you can share music on not one, not two, but 4 different AirPods. Well, this will be pretty handy if you want to watch movies with your friend while having just an AirPod. And swiping on keyboard is coming on stock Apple keyboard, and this I believe will mark the end of SwiftKey app. Okay, what else should we cover? Okay, Siri will be getting more smarter and will have a natural kind of voice. But every year they keep saying that Siri is getting smarter and smarter, and I believe it is miles behind Google Assistant. And Memoji is now getting updated with more details, and to be honest, all these are minor upgrades which shouldn't need to be get in detail. Overall though, I'm really happy with this keynote. After all those years of holding iOS from developing, Apple has stepped in and finally catching up to the competitors. Fun fact, there was a hardware release on this WWDC, the all new modular Mac Pro, which is also known as Cheese Grater. Well, I'm working on that video and will try to upload that video as soon as possible. Well, I will put all the link regarding this keynote in the description below, so do check it out, and feel free to share this video for those people who are still skeptical regarding what Apple released on WWDC. Well, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.